Hi everyone, welcome to today's video, another episode of Pinspiration Sewing. For this episode of Pinspiration Sewing, I will be sharing my next make for hashtag bhmpatterndesigners challenge. Now, I have had this photo saved on my Pinterest for I think a year now. It was supposed to be a project for hubby, but he insisted that he would not be wearing any pastel colors. He likes really dark colors. He sticks to black, gray, army green. That is the gist. Dark blue. That is the gist of his color palette. But I still was in love with that shirt. I knew that someday in the future I'll be recreating this shirt. And now I was hoping that I would convince hubby to get it, but a year has passed. There's still no convincing, so I decided I will make it for myself in a female version. So it's basically a color blocked pastel shirt, which takes us back decades ago. I'm not even sure which time period this looks like it's from. I need to get in touch with my fashion decades people. It's not something I ever really looked into, but I know for sure that this shirt is not modern day. This had to have come about sometime in the past, and then of course, as we know, fashion from the past always comes back in modern times. If you know when this shirt was from or when pastel color block existed, please let me know in the comments down below. So just before I started this project, I looked up pastel color block again, and it seems as though it's actually in right now, I guess in preparation for spring. Those of you who have seasons, this would make a perfect spring top because of the colors, and also it's long sleeve, so if it isn't quite warm enough yet, this would be good. We don't have seasons here, so I could wear this really anytime I want to throughout the entire year, which is amazing because I absolutely love it. And I need like 5 more of these shirts in different colors. I got kind of sidetracked there. Yes, I was talking about how it seems as though this shirt is in right now. So I actually found a few more photos of shirts similar to this. So I'll put another one up on the screen somewhere. Again, they were mostly for males, but I really liked it for me, so I made it for me. So as I said, this is one of my makes for hashtag bhmpatterndesigners, which means that this is a black pattern designer who made this amazing shirt pattern. This is the Daphne button-up blouse by Style Sew Me Patterns. Now, I was introduced to this pattern by both Natida and Myra, coincidentally, and they started BHM Pattern Designers Challenge in 2019, if you didn't know. So Natida shared hers. I can't remember if it's last year or the year before, but she made an all-black classic version of the shirt, and then Myra made a sleeveless one, and then for Natida's birthday this year, she actually hacked the Daphne into a dress. I thought that the Daphne button-up blouse would be perfect for this recreation of this Pinspiration look, and it worked out perfectly. Super happy making a shirt after having not done it for so long, because I usually only make button-up shirts for hubby, and I have not made one for him in a while. Doing this made me realize I really enjoy making shirts. I really enjoy the button band and the collar and everything. I don't know what it is, I just like making shirts. I guess the first thing is I use mainly cotton to make button-up shirts, and obviously cotton is much easier to sew with than like a rayon or crepe fabric. These fabrics are all Oxford shirting cottons, 100% cotton. So cutting was a breeze, sewing was a breeze. It was really easy to get precise stitching, especially for top stitching. And as you can see, the colors are baby pink, mint green, pastel yellow, a lilac color. Not sure if you can see the back. My hair's probably in the way, but there's pink on the yoke, and I have the mint green back, and then I have mint green sleeve, pink sleeve. My pocket is pink, and then I have yellow and lilac front pieces, and my collar and collar band are both the lilac. Now, I think a shirt is a really good way to start color blocking if you've never tried color blocking before, because you don't have to actually dissect the pattern. Because a shirt already has so many pieces, you can just cut each piece in a different color. So you have the pocket, you could do the sleeves in a different color, you have a collar stand, you have 2 front pieces, and then you have a yoke at the back, and then your main back piece. If you want to try color blocking but you're afraid of drawing lines and dissecting the pattern and adding back seam allowances and all that jazz, if you are intimidated by that, start with a shirt. A shirt is a really easy way to do color blocking. So let's talk about the Daphne pattern. The Daphne button-up blouse is offered in sizes extra small to 2XL. I will have the size charts on the screen. I made a mock-up of the extra large, just a sleeveless back and front. So on the size charts, I actually fell in large at the bust and then extra large at the hip, but I knew I wanted this shirt to be a little bit more oversized, so I chose the extra large and I started there with the mock-up. It was just a little bit too oversized for my liking, especially up top because I am kind of bottom heavy, so it fit my hip great, but up here, especially the shoulders and the bust area, was just a little bit too big. So what I did was I actually got one of hubby's shirts and tried it on. Well, I tried many of his shirts actually until I found one that fit me kind of the way I wanted this shirt to fit. And I actually measured that shirt. And then when I measured the pattern pieces, I realized, okay, large would actually be a little bit too small, because then after my mock-up was so oversized, I was going to do large graded to extra large. But yeah, when I tried hubby's shirts and measured it, I realized that the large would be a little bit closer on the bust than I would like, because I was a little bit afraid of gaping. So what I did was cut a new line between the large and the extra large. So the line was about, I think it was about ½ inch out, because there was an inch difference between the two sizes. So I drew my new line ½ inch out, and then on my mock-up and marked where my natural waist hit. And then I transferred that marking to the paper, and from there, then I graded out to extra large at the hip. And that worked perfectly, as you can see. This is like the perfect size. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be kind of a boyfriend fit shirt, but at the same time, I still wanted it to be feminine and shapely. Yes, I did the new line, graded to extra large hip. So guys, don't think that you always have to cut the pattern on a specific line. Sometimes we fall in between sizes. I am notorious for falling in between sizes. My shoe size is a half size. In clothes, a lot of the time I find I'm between medium and large. So I'm just in between sizes a lot. This is completely normal for me. Oftentimes, I have to draw a new line in between two sizes, and that is perfectly fine. Do whatever works for you. So the only other changes I made were to the sleeve piece. So I'm gonna roll down one of my sleeves so I can show you what the sleeve looks like on me. So this is my sleeve. There's the cuff. I didn't bother to add buttons because I know that I am going to be rolling it up. But if I did add buttons, it would look something like this. As you can see, this sleeve is quite long on me, and there's also a lot of space in the cuff. Even if I button it, it would still be wide enough to go down and cover my wrist. So here's the funny thing. I actually graded my sleeve from that in between large and extra large line. I graded it down to the smallest size, which is the extra small. So the wrist and cuff of this pattern is actually extra small, and I cut it at the length of the extra small. So I mean, I think this is a good length. Like I said, I'm never gonna wear it long. If I were to wear it long, this is not a bad length. I could probably take off an inch. There was one issue I had with the sleeve, but I was able to rectify that with no issues. And it's that there was no marking on the pattern for where to start your slit from. So I did mine. I marked 2.5 inches, and that's where I left my slit. So after the ½ inch seam allowance, my slit here before the cuff is 2 inches. But since I'm not buttoning, that means absolutely nothing for me, because I am gonna roll this up anyway. Okay, now that we have my sleeve rolled back up, if you see me looking in that direction, it's because there's a mirror. The only other thing with the sleeve is that I found that the sleeve heads needed to be eased in just a little bit. And if I had known that, I would have done a basting stitch on the machine just to pull in the gathers a little bit. But I went ahead and pinned my sleeve in, and then I was like, oh crap, it needs to be eased in. I didn't feel like unpinning, guys, so I used hand basting and then pulled that. But on the right sleeve, I kind of messed up a little bit. Like the gathers ended up in the wrong area, so there's like a little fold happening here. But because I scrunch up my sleeves anyway, no one is gonna know. So those are all the changes I made to the pattern. Everything else I did as is. Y'all know I would usually shorten tops. I did not do any shortening. I actually wanted this to be a longer top. So you'll see in my photos where this hits me, it covers my bum completely, which is what I wanted. Now, the pattern does not call for any top stitching, but I like my shirts to look a particular way. I like them to look ready to wear. I don't really like my shirts to look homemade. You know what I mean? So I did a lot of top stitching. The only top stitching that it called for was the button band. Oh, also, this is a built-in button band. So you put the interfacing on the right side. Well, if you're using a fabric like mine, where the right side and wrong side are the same, then you could put the interfacing on the right side, and then you just flip it over, fold on the 1/4 inch, and you top stitch that down so that you have the button band on the right side. However, if you're using a fabric where the right side and wrong side are different, you won't be able to do that. You'll have to flip it on the inside instead and then top stitch. Now, I decided to add top stitching everywhere on this shirt. So I actually did 4 flat fill seams. So I top stitched down my sleeve seam. Guys, if you look at the sleeve, I had to do yellow, stop, change threads, make green, stop, change threads, pink. This side, very similar, green, pink, and purple. So I had to be stopping constantly to change my threads. That made this shirt take a lot longer than it should have. This is a shirt that you could whip up in a couple hours in one day. I ended up having to take this over into the next day just because of how many times I had to stop to change threads and wind new bobbins. Hemming, same thing. Hemmed with the yellow, stop, change threads. Then I hemmed with the green, stop, change threads. And then I hemmed the lilac. So there was constant changing of threads during this project. For the pockets, I use the size large to extra large pockets, and it's pink, so I did my pink top stitching all around the pockets. Collar, I did lilac top stitching all around the collar. Now, something else I did differently with the top stitching is that Erin calls for you to slip stitch the collar band as well as the cuffs. I basted them very neatly in place, and then I top stitched on my machine. For hubby's shirts, I usually slip stitch, but he has short sleeves, so I usually just slip stitch the collar stand. For me, knowing that I was going to roll up the sleeves, I top stitched the cuffs, and I actually prefer the cuffs top stitched anyway. Like I said, it gives it that ready to wear look, and the collar as well, especially because these are lighter colors. I was kind of running away from it looking like too school uniform or too, I know, nursery or nurse. Like, I feel like if with these colors, you could kind of go to hospital vibes real fast. Like, I know, like if you work in a pediatrician's office, I don't know. It was just giving me nursery and hospital and school clothes. So I had to make sure I did that top stitching just to bring it back to more ready to wear fashion. You guys get what I mean? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this on Esmeralda, and then give you all some little close up so you can see the top stitching and see the collar and the cuff and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm really proud of my top stitching on this, like especially on the button band. It's really neat. And I actually contemplated using snaps. I ended up going for buttons, and I didn't have any trouble doing the buttonholes. My machine behaved itself and did all of my buttonholes one after the next. A breeze, no issues whatsoever. And I think that is because there's just that one piece of interfacing that's built in. With a button band, it usually gets folded and you end up with double layer of fabric and double layer of interfacing. With it done this way, it's less bulky and easier to do buttonholes. I keep thinking I'm done, and then I remember I forgot something. So for the back yoke, the back yoke is actually double layered, and the way that it is constructed in the pattern instructions is you basically sandwich the back piece between the two yoke layers, and then so you'll have the sandwich, and when you fold up your yoke layers, you then slip stitch on the shoulder seam. I just did the burrito method instead. This was actually my first time doing the burrito method without looking at any instructions. So I just tried to remember off the top of my head how to do the burrito method. Nailed it! So I was really happy about that. So if you are making a Daphne, I definitely recommend using the burrito method instead. It's just way easy and it goes fast and you don't have to worry about slip stitching. All of my other seams I just serged and then top stitched to look like flat fill seams. With the sleeve, you leave the seam open so that you can then have your slit. So yeah, really easy construction. Definitely a good place to start if you've never made a shirt before. This is a good pattern to start with, especially because Erin has a sew along, and we all know video sew alongs are a dream come true. Like I love any pattern that has a video sew along. I'm a visual learner, so I like videos. I don't know about you guys. So anyway, as I was making this shirt, like I had Valentine's on my mind because I know Valentine's is tomorrow. I was trying to think, could this be a Valentine's look, even though the colors are not traditional Valentine's colors? And then I thought, oh my god, this shirt matches conversation hats perfectly. I'm gonna put a picture of conversation hats up so you can see how close it is. So this is also a Valentine's look. So this is my second Valentine's look for hashtag #bhmpatterndesigners challenge. For this one, guys, I ventured out into my yard this time to take photos. Probably convinced me that pictures for this particular look would be better outside. As awkward as it felt, you know, they're taking photos, I pushed through, and I'm really happy that we decided to go outside with pictures. If you didn't know, I'm on lockdown, so I can't venture anywhere else, but at least I got some photos in the yard. So yeah, I'm gonna insert my photos now and those close-ups I promised you guys. You guys enjoyed this episode of Pinspiration Sewing. I had so much fun making this shirt. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the entire process of making this shirt, just watching the colors come together and the technical construction itself. I know it was just very satisfying to me and I really love the outcome. I can see myself wearing this shirt constantly. So I need a few more Daphnes in my wardrobe, guys. I really love the fact that it's loose, so it can hide any food babies or any imperfections that you don't want people to see. But at the same time, you still look very fashionable and stylish. And because I did that gridding, it has a nice feminine shape. Yeah, absolutely love my Daphne shirt. If you guys have not entered the challenge as yet, don't worry, you still have some time. We're seeing lots of entries coming in. I think we're about the 15 point mark now. Yeah, I think we have about 15 entries now. Don't forget, we have a lot of prizes up for grabs from our amazing sponsors. And it's very important to note that there is no pressure, there is no judging, none of that stuff. All the prizes are random, which means that you can win for just participating. So we hope that you will join in on the challenge for the month is out. Also, don't forget, Natita has BHMPD products on her website. There are t-shirts, there's fabric, labels, enamel pins, really amazing stuff that she designed with the help of an illustrator. And it is limited edition, which means once the end of February hits, they will no longer be available. If you want information about the history of the challenge, the list of black pattern makers, all the coupon codes that are on offer, I have blog posts with all of that information, so I'll have those linked down below. Also, if you have not yet followed our ambassadors, please do. They're already started bringing ideas and inspiration. Crystal just posted an amazing daisy shirt dress from So Explicit with some fabulous lantern sleeves. So please go and follow Crystal at Crystal Sews and Stuff, T at Crumpets Tea and Sewing, and Deeta at Divine Deeta. And also head over to So Natural Dane on Instagram and YouTube. Natita is the host of the challenge. She has been dropping some amazing looks as well, you guys. So make sure you follow all these people. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, make sure you want to follow me at Island Socialist. Like I said, I will have all that information down below. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this shirt. If you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button on your way out if you have not done so already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Have a happy Valentine's Day, guys. Bye.